McCain offered proof in the form of new details provided to him by CIA Director Leon Panetta.
The trail to bin Laden did not begin with a disclosure from colleague Sheikh Mohammed, who was waterboarded 183 times. We did not first learn from colleague Sheikh Mohammed the real name of bin Laden's courier or his alias, Abu Ahmed al-Kuwaiti, the man who ultimately enabled us to find bin Laden. The first mention of the name Abu Ahmed al-Kuwaiti, as well as a description of him as an important member of al-Qaeda, came from a detainee in another country. The United States did not conduct this detainee's interrogation, nor did we render him to that country for the purpose of interrogation. We did not learn Abu Ahmed's real name or alias as a result of waterboarding or any enhanced interrogation technique used on a detainee in U.S. custody. In fact, not only did the use of enhanced interrogation techniques on colleague Sheikh Mohammed did not provide us with key leads on bin Laden's courier, Abu Ahmed, it actually produced false and misleading information.
McCain also said he's learned from the Senate Intelligence Committee that the best information gained from a CIA detainee was obtained through standard, non-coercive methods. In both his speech and an op-ed in today's Washington Post, McCain recalled his 5.5 years as a prisoner of war in Vietnam to repeat his condemnation of torture from both a moral and practical point of view, writing, "I know from personal experience that the abuse of prisoners sometimes produces good intelligence, but often produces bad intelligence because under torture, a person will say anything he thinks his captors want to hear, true or false, if he believes it will relieve his suffering." Joining me now, MSNBC political analyst Jonathan Alter, columnist for Bloomberg View. Thanks for joining me tonight, Jonathan.
Hi, Lawrence.
Jonathan, I just got to say, when that guy's good, he's really, really good.
Yeah, you know, I had a lot against him, and I'm sure you did too, over the last couple of years, where he kind of rounded up his principles and deported them. But on this issue, you have to give John McCain credit. He has the standing and the credibility to correct this extremely important historical point. All this week, Dick Cheney and other veterans of the Bush administration have been all over television claiming that it was the waterboarding of KSM that led to bin Laden. It is not true. We now have it from the director of the CIA that it's not true, and that alcove or wall in the Bush library that was going to give their enhanced interrogation techniques credit for getting bin Laden, they better not put that up because it'll be a lie.
Yeah, the very simple and powerful clarity of the presentation that he just went through, the simplicity of it, it was very, very powerful, very clear. And newsmaking, using this information that he says he obtained directly from Leon Panetta. I mean, he went out and did his own homework to go out there and make that speech. Is the old John McCain back?
Well, I think that remains to be seen. He's still pretty bitter over the way some of his old allies sided with Barack Obama. He got a scare in Arizona in that tough primary with J.D. Hayworth. And so you're not going to see him playing footsie with the Democrats the way he did several years ago. He almost became a Democrat. He had essentially a Democratic voting record. Now he has one of the most conservative voting records in the whole Senate. And I don't think that's going to change that much. But on a few key issues, this being one of them, he's standing up, and it's extremely important because this is a fight over the way history will regard this tremendously important event. And the man who, you know, led us to bin Laden, Ahmed al-Kuwaiti, he was not the information leading to him, just to repeat what McCain said, because it's sometimes be a little tough when you see him on the floor talking about it. His identity was not obtained either through torture or through what they call rendition, which is sending a suspect to be tortured someplace else. That was not the case in this critical event, and the clarity of this is extraordinarily important, Lawrence.
For the man who rode the Straight Talk Express in his first presidential campaign, the Straight Talk was back today. And I don't see him getting any real flack from other Republicans in the Senate, Jonathan. They do regard him as an authority on this.
We'll see whether Cheney gets questioned now next time he goes on Fox based on this new information.
Right. Jonathan Alter, thanks for joining me tonight.
Yeah, thanks, Lawrence.